What up, guys? It's your boy, Closeted Racist here, coming up with a brand new thing today. Today's original idea, I've made it up myself. I call it looking on Reddit and recording yourself looking on Reddit. It's a great, crazy idea, right? Huh? Anyways, let's get to it. It's called Insane People Facebook. This looks like a good post. Star Wars creates gays. Very disappointing in the new Star Wars movie. Traditionally, Star Wars has been an all-American franchise. New movies are infested with ethnics. A woman Jedi, a black stormtrooper, a Chinese pilot, and an Indian Chewbacca. How is Chewbacca Indian? Even more alarming, there are many species of gays, including trans droid C-3PO, and even a full-blown homosexual Kylo Ren, which I firmly believe has both inspired homosexual tendencies in my son Tanner. We're not sure how gay Tanner is yet, but we ask that you all pray for him. My wife and I have done nothing to deserve this. We are people of God. Well, I mean, understand why Kylo Ren would give him homosexual tendencies. I mean, oof. Whew. That's a hunk right there. Do not approach my mom. Call local authorities. Help me recover stolen property. If you see my mom at Walmart with a tablet in her hand, do not approach her. Call local authorities. It was my Christmas present. I got grounded for nothing and was forced to do chores. She's going to return it and she has no business returning it for money. It does not belong to her. Serial number is that. I love how urgent this is. Like, do not approach her. Call local authorities because she's violent. She grounded me. It was my Christmas present. I got grounded for nothing and I was forced to do chores. Man, what abuse. I'm so sorry that you had to do chores. It does not belong to her. Santa gave it to me. Sexual charities for incels. What are incels? Urban Dictionary. Involuntary celibate. Oh, so it's just somebody who can get laid. Okay. Person, usually male, who has horrible personality and treats women like sexual objects and thinks it's a lack of a sex life. Comes from being ugly, when it's just his blatant sexism and terrible attitude. Incels have little to no self-awareness. Wait a minute. So he knows the definition, but he's still unaware. In a just world, the government would hold... Ooh. I gotta change hats for reading this one. In a just world, the government will hold mandatory charities every few months for incel men who are suffering from inceldom. They'd group two kinds of charity workers who would voluntarily offer their services, one being virgin femoids, and the second being used up femoids. What's a femoid? A snarl word for women, generally used by incel to refer to women, especially in the context of sexual objectification. So he knowingly sexually objectifies women, thinking that they wanna skidoodle all over their noodle. They would group two kinds of charity workers who would voluntarily offer their services, one being virgin femoids and the second being used up femoids who have partner count ranging from 1 to 10. The incels who hold anti-degeneracy views like myself would hook up with the virgin femoid, while incels who don't give a shit about whether to hook up with an used up femoid, a femoid charity worker would then be expected with an incel for 10 days, providing them with sex, validation, and emotional connection that has been deprived of his whole life. Oh, I like the comment. So, sexual slavery to make you feel good about yourself is perfectly okay. By your views, wow, no wonder you're alone. Haha, that's proof. I gotta go back to this hat for this one. My Bible says Al Gore is the devil. My Bible says Al Gore is the devil. Today, 9 years ago, Al Gore said the North Pole would be ice-free. What happened? The Bible happened. Yeah, what'd you guys expect? The Bible happened. Because that makes sense. Yeah, no. Because the Bible said, you know what the Bible said? Luke 4:20. In the book of Job, it says that the ice caps won't melt. The Bible talks about the polar ice caps. Let's lynch those traitorous liberals. What punishment should that's right, President Trump roll out of those traitorous liberals? I think state-ordered lynchings would be very appropriate. The problem is that they have a stronghold in California. Military action must be deployed to liberate the people from those communist rats. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that one, actually. Alright. Instant block. Poll. If a 14-year-old boy can legally consent to a non-penetration relationship to a male 12 plus years older than him and his parents' full support, is it still acceptable in today's society since it's 100% legal? Ew, what? It's to a male 12 plus years? Ew, that's not God's way. Neither is any of the other parts, too. Language isn't real. Hashtag idiots. I gotta zoom in for this one. This is a lot of reading. If I say, you have cancer, can you say I have cancer? And you say, I have cancer, what am I teaching you? You're teaching me what I have. No, I'm teaching you how to mimic the sounds that you hear me make. Oh my God, you're right. You're just teaching me to mimic a bunch of sounds. So mimicking a bunch of sounds is all the education has ever taught us, and nothing that we say even exists. That's right. Man, we're idiots. How could we have missed this? I don't know. But we did. The war, the racism, the killing of all living things, the misdiagnosing of everyone, and so that someone could play a trick on everyone. Talk about evil. I'll never trust anything that anyone says again. If someone doesn't tell you that they're just making sounds and that nothing they say actually exists, don't trust them because they're not consciously aware. One idiot, one idea to teach everyone to mimic that sound so that and not tell anyone that is what they're teaching them how to do so that they could play a trick on everyone and rule the world. It's the Illuminati, guys. Okay, guys, everything I say is true. Nothing I say actually exists, because so you guys can trust me. All these words are doing is prompting you to do is make a bunch of different sounds. So stop making a bunch of different sounds each time you could. Alright, I'm not gonna read all that. It's dumb. I like at the end. The power of the written word is dead, and it's all tricks. But what is this right here? What are you doing right here, buckaroo? That's a trick in itself. 'Cause tricks don't exist, 'cause that's written down, apparently. I don't know how that works. If a doctor tells you that you have cancer, you're still going to have cancer. You're going to die in like a couple weeks. If a doctor comes up to you and says, you have cancer, and then you say, well, what you just said doesn't exist. Just wait a couple weeks, and then you'll be the one in the right.
Some guy says it's not too late.